Once upon a time, there was a rich and powerful sultan who ruled the world's chicken industry, obsessed only with wealth and the taking over of all chicken factories. The sultan stopped at nothing to rule every chicken factory in the world, darling. In efforts to marry the sultan, his parents sent out their squires all around the lands to bring back the most beautiful women for the sultan to consider for a wife. The sultan's parents were worried desperately that the sultan would not marry and produce an heir to take over his empire. But the sultan cared not for love. He didn't care for marriage. His bedroom became a revolving door, a succession of lovers. The chicken factory empire was really all he cared for, and everything else just bored him. One day, an asteroid fell to Earth, landing close to one of the sultan's chicken factories. Soon after, an epidemic spread through the chickens. One after another, chickens died and returned as the walking dead. A zombie chicken. The virus spread from factory to factory across the land. Agencies deployed hazmat units throughout all the territories, and they burned one factory after the next. The sultan's empire was vanishing before his very eyes. Within months, the poultry monopoly that once ruled the world was a smoldering memory, and not one of the sultan's huge chicken factories remained. And far worse than this, not a single chicken walked the earth. The sultan fell into a deep depression. He locked himself in the room, refusing to see anyone, and he became very drunk and mad. His parents were extremely worried about his health, and they feared there was no hope for this once promising sultan. His drunkenness led to a dark side, where the sultan began to experiment with black magic in hopes of bringing back his empire. He laid out candles and conducted rituals and sacrifices so dark and bloody that his soul beckoned Satan himself. Satan promised the sultan that in exchange for the sultan's soul, he would conjure a bird that would spawn the next chicken empire. The sultan agreed to Satan's offer and signed the contract and his soul over to Satan, and with this Satan vanished. Suddenly, there was a beautiful song. The sultan turned to find the most beautiful chicken the sultan had ever seen. She was covered from head to toe in glorious multicolored feathers. So beautiful was she that tears were brought to his eyes, and he laid down before the bird's feet. Upon eye contact, love radiated from the bird to the sultan's eyes. This was a love that he'd never felt for anything before, and the sultan was overtaken by passion. He embraced the bird, and the two made love, and upon climax, the bird let out a joyful song. The sultan waited as a large egg grew inside the bird. The bird's labor was intense, and from her little egg hole emerged an enormous egg of frightful proportions. In a huge blast of embryonic fluid, the egg shot out of her and landed right into the hands of the sultan. He raised the shining golden egg to the sky, and it glittered in the rays of the sun. It was a golden egg. In the shadow from the golden rays of her offspring, the solitary bird lay still in a pile of magnificent rainbow feathers, dead. Her once plump body now lay limp and deflated at his feet. Her beautiful egg taking her life in its laying. The Sultan screamed over her still body. What's to happen to my empire now? Defeated, the grief-stricken Sultan clutched his golden egg, jumped from his window, and landed with a cold, hard thump, dead to the ground. Satan appeared, and from his dead, squashed body peeled the golden egg from his dead fingers and vanished into the air.
That was it.
Okay.
Yes.